of channelinginc.com. Today I am going to discuss some fast channeling tips and how to always be channeling, the ABCs of always be channeling. So um, this is a bit of an advanced training I'm going to be sharing here in this video. What I do recommend though is if you're beginning channeling, just take your time. Breathe into it, relax, who your spirit guides are. We're not talking about trance channeling. Trance channeling is where you let the soul take over your body, things like that. I don't do that. Nothing wrong with that. If you want to try it, go for it. But what I teach instead is what's called conscious channeling, where you're conscious about who you're channeling, you're aware of it, you can stop it or start it at any time. That's what I teach at my channelinginc.com website. Please go visit it and you will get more information about all my workshops that I have available where you can learn how to do this and make it an everyday part, normal part of your life. That's what I want for all my students. So when it comes to channeling, first thing is you have to always know who you're channeling. And in this talk that I'm going to be discussing is about channeling your spirit guides. And the reason why I suggest you get really good at this first is because your spirit guides are members of your soul family. They know why you've chosen to incarnate, how you want to grow and evolve, and how you can make the most out of this lifetime that you've chosen to be here. And so learning to channel them is the essential part of channeling the foundation, because they guide you and help you navigate through your everyday part of your life. And as you become more competent in being able to discern the difference between your stuff and what's coming from them, then what I do recommend with my students is start to pick up the speed. And the reason why I want all my students to eventually get to this point where they can channel very quickly and fast in the moment is because what I want them to do is I want them to be able to I don't know, like I want them to be able to get to a point where they're basically able to channel like anywhere, anytime, on the spot, in the moment. So for example, let's say for example you're going to the grocery store and you're trying to figure out, well, which of these groceries are the best ones for me to consume, to eat. So you're like, well, you can walk down an aisle and you can be like, how about this one? Yeah, okay. This one, yeah, okay. This one, next aisle, okay. This one, yeah, this one. And you're just filling your basket full of only the things that are good and healthy for you, that your spirit guides are suggesting that you eat. So how do you do this? At the beginning, when I do teach my students to channel their spirit guides, I want them to learn how to channel like the how do they know which guide it is, the nuances and the small little feelings and note, and then how do they communicate with you. And then once you start to practice this, then when you get the speed going, then you can make it live. So for example, you might be at work in a board meeting or at a discussing something with your manager or coworker. You can live channel those answers right then and there on the spot. And it doesn't have to be, some like later kind of thing, but practice this. And so what I mean by always be channeling, a lot of people have a misconception. They think that, oh, Ken is always channeling, always be channeling. So this is the ABCs, in case you're wondering, haha, always be channeling. Okay. So they have this misconception where they think that, oh, all this information is coming in and bombarding me, and don't you get like overwhelmed by all this information that comes in? It's like, no, no, no. You don't have to have that happen. There's something called boundaries with souls that I teach in my channeling level 2 workshop, where I'll teach you how to make sure you're always in control. You know who you're channeling, and if there's ever souls that are coming in and bothering you, I'll teach you how to deal with that. So you're always creating boundaries. Where we're talking about spirit guides right now. So your spirit guides always have your best interest in mind and always be channeling. Basically, and what I'm referring to is you always have that satellite dish on. So imagine like a satellite dish back in the days, and you would have a signal come in, and then it would go to the receiver, and then you'd be able to display the image or video on your television. So that's the satellite dish. So think of it like you're the receiver. You always have your satellite dish on and open. It doesn't mean that there's always information coming in, but when information wants to come in from your spirit guides, it's available and accessible for you, for it to come in. So you're walking around, you're living your life, your day-to-day, kind of going through your tasks of your everyday life. And then you notice one of your spirit guides come in. So they're like, you feel this like nudge or prompting from one of you, and you're like, oh, who's that? Oh, okay, this is my My health guide. Okay, good. Any messages for me about my health? And they're like, yeah, this is what we suggest around your health. So that information comes in. You're like, woo, okay, thank you very much. And you honor them, and then you go around. Maybe a few hours later, you're just maybe running some errands, and then you notice another spirit guide come in, and that guide gives you information about a relationship that you're going through, maybe a coworker or a friend or a family member, and to do with that relationship. So that information comes in, helps you to navigate that situation with that person, and then you're like, hey, thank you very much. And then maybe you're going along your day, and then maybe it's evening time now, and you get another message from maybe your business or your career guide, and they want to give you a message about your job or about your career and stuff like that. So then they give you that message, and you're like, okay, great, and you thank them, and then you continue on. Or maybe you're having a conversation with somebody, and then live in that moment they're telling you what to say, what not to say, and you can channel live in the moment. That's where I want to get all of you as my students, where channeling is just an everyday normal part of your life, and you could be having conversations with people. I'm at a restaurant sometimes, and I'm like, channeling this and channeling that, and they're like, whoa, no way. And I'm like, yeah, and I just teach them how to do it live, like it's like an everyday part of their life. It doesn't have to be some weird woo kind of thing where you go into this trance state or anything like that. No, I mean, you can if you want, but you don't have to. Instead, you could be conscious channeling and live in the moment, on the spot, anywhere, anytime, any environment, any situation. My name is Ken Lewicki of channelinginc.com. If you want to learn more about how I do this and access some of my training that I have like curriculum that's over, each level comes with like a 50-page manual. It's probably some of the most comprehensive channeling training that you can get anywhere in the industry. Just go visit my website, channelinginc.com, and have a wonderful day.